Hello, this is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. And tonight's film is 1998's shot on video, Mary Cookie and the Killer Tarantula. This is on a two-movie set, Jess Franco's Perversion double feature. And it has two movies with the film Incubus, which I've already reviewed on this YouTube page. But you can see a piece of the cover, of just the cover of this film, Mari Cookie, right there. It's kind of hard to see. This is put out by Sub Rosa Cinema, Extreme Cinema, I believe, and these are very difficult to come by. Jess Franco's shot-on-video films by One Shot Productions are very difficult to come by nowadays. They're almost all out of print. They're on, like, multiple films on each DVD type sets. You can get them on Amazon, eBay, and you're gonna be paying a higher price tag because they're out of print. But this is really the only way, as far as I know, to get these films. Some of them were released on single editions as well, but this is really taking us into the kind of the 90s, into the millennium of Jess Franco's films that were filmed in Spain, shot on video, completely free to do whatever the hell he wanted to do, just like he always was. But he even had more freedom now in his last years of filmmaking. This is Mari Cookie and the Killer Tarantula. Let's get into this movie because it is a prime example of free filmmaking, wild filmmaking, boundaryless filmmaking, punk, the definition of punk filmmaking, rebellious filmmaking, okay? Filmmaking completely without bounds of what a producer thinks, what's marketable, okay? Here we are, folks. Mari Cookie and the Killer Tarantula. Essentially what we have here is we have a film concerning almost a sexual Spider-Man origin story in some bizarre way, but essentially we have a woman who's been raped and a spider goes into her vagina, and out comes this mysterious tarantula woman, punk tarantula woman who has webs of her own and lures men and women to these webs, and the story has twists and turns where you're trying to figure out who this woman is, and the authorities and everyone else are trying to figure out who this woman is and the people she is taking captive and the nightclub that she works at. Or should we say an Amsterdamish type sex club that she works at. Folks, let's get into this film because it is freaking wild, awesome. This is Jess Franco right here, folks. I had to make some notes on this film because there are a lot of things here, so I wanted to get into it and not miss a damn thing. When we get into the style of this film, this is shot on video. You're going to see some blips and stuff as if it's a VHS tape. The sound is also very, very rough. You know, you're going to miss a lot of lines of dialogue, but you're still going to get the essentials, and you're still going to get the film. But it was all spoken in English, but you have, characters who have, rough accents, and so it's hard to hear them, but also the sound mix itself. And a lot of characters have accents, and you also have American characters in here, like Michelle Bauer, and I mean, this is insane. I mean, we have... we have Lena Romay, we have Michelle Bauer from kind of the 80s horror film days. And it's pretty surprising to see them in here in a Spanish Jess Franco production, and they're awesome, and they have very big roles in this film. If you know, my gosh, I mean, you have to know these actresses. You have to know, I mean, you got to know them from the 80s horror films, especially together, like Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, and then, kind of Linnea Quigley. Did I say Linnea Quigley? Linnea Quigley and Michelle Bauer. Those two together, there's so many. But Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, Sorority Babes, and the Slime Bowl-orama, and here we are in a Jess Franco film. stylistically, we have saturated colors, which are intensified by the shot-on-video type of vibe. We also have his signature zooms, but we have these panning shots, we have focus shots, we have close-up shots. We have an element in this film where he is shooting in an artistic fashion that just should not be done on a shot-on-video film. Now, I love shot-on-video films, you know, everything. Oh gosh, I mean, from camp motion pictures, you know, all the horror shot on video films from the 80s, the low budget horror stuff, even the thing that I did on this page here, Cards of Death. But he is filming in a way as if it's a $10 million production. I mean, sure, it's shaky at times, but the way that he's panning, the way that he's zooming, the way that he's moving the camera, these artistic shots, just freaking awesome. Since it's a spider film, we have webs, homemade webs all throughout the film, where, and this is a prime example where he is utilizing these webs, he's utilizing the holes in these webs, he's utilizing the shooting through the webs, because you know Jess Franco loves to shoot through things. And this is a prime example. Yes, folks, from 1998, Jess Franco, I'm saying this is a prime example of him shooting through something because a web has holes. And it also has dividers. So now he has the perfect place to shoot through something, a spider web. This is his prime example. And I got to tell you something, folks. I'm going to say that I had a discovery in this film. Jess Franco is shooting through. He always shoots through those things with an obstruction in the view, whether it's a sex scene, whether it's any type of scene. He always has an obstruction, a fish tank, a statue, a chair. There's always something in the foreground that's obstructing a little bit of the view. In this particular film, something was revealed to me like a key to Jess Franco's process. And what we have here is we have sexual things happening through the webs, tongues, breasts, hands, vaginas, butts, going through the webs. And what I discovered here is that something erotic and sexual that is typically happening in an erotic sexual environment between two, between three, between whoever, is that you'll have lingerie. You'll have obstructions to sex that become erotic. The obstructions to sex become erotic. And it's in the obstructed view that Franco is using as a voyeur of his own works, of the camera being his own eyeball, of us, the viewer, being the voyeur through it, using his eyeball, using his camera. Now we have a prime example, folks, of what it all means. This is just me, saying this, but that the obstructed view is the erotic sexual nature of the obstruction. And we're seeing it here, folks. We have a Bob Marley poster. We have his cutting back and forth to like some heavy metal horror art in this film also. Really, really wild stuff. We have slow motion in this film. We have spider vision in this film. Yes, we have spider vision in this film. And we have flashing lights that just shouldn't be flashing, right? You know what I'm saying? We have flashing lights that shouldn't be flashing, and they're flashing anyway. And this is a prime example. Outside, indoors, clubs, everywhere. Freaking awesome. The music in this film is amazing. We have modern, electronic, moody vibes, emotions, sultry, dark. We have drum and bass. We got techno, dance, ethnic music you might hear in a Lebanese dance club. We have a singing, naked, tortured man using the word fuck, almost operatically. Yes, folks. And we have music from Jess Franco's CDs in here too, the Manicoa Experience, and also the other CD that is out there. I believe it's called The Crazy World of Jess Franco. And I'm just quickly looking this up here to get you the exact title, but I have these soundtracks here. But anyway, yes, they're both on It's a Crazy World of Jess Franco, some out of print stuff. But the music, you'll hear music that you've heard in other ones of his films, like Sadomania and things like that, but you're hearing it repeated in here. But you're also hearing brand new music, amazing stuff, some crazy guitar work, some crazy very bizarre guitar work, the kind of stuff, you know, you hear in Al Pieri and the Alligator Woman, like really original, you know, guitar music that's experimental, avant-garde, and makes you feel weird type of stuff. It's really, really cool stuff. The dialogue in this film is insane. I mean, it's almost pornographic. It's humorous. It's wild. It's bizarre. It's explicit. It's nuts. The architecture, we have wild, horrific sets in this film. We also have some horrific music stings in this film, some darkness at times, and even at one point where the whole camera kind of gets focused around and kind of blackened and making a hole. There's even a reference to Jess Franco going film within a film within a film. Once again, folks, we have beautiful beach, tropical areas as well, and we have this, you know, wild, dingy clubs, stone walls, shots through the stone holes as there are holes in the webs as well, and beach, tropical, rainy town vibe. You want to be there. You want to be there. Now, the sexuality of this film is insane. Franco's way of just knowing exactly where he wants to go with the erotic nature and what is erotic. This is my opinion, folks. I feel like he knows exactly what is erotic, what is sexual, what is explicit, but not even explicit in a negative way, not even lustful in the negative way, not even lurid in the negative way, not even vulgar in the negative way. To Franco, he's almost redefining those words, or at least taking the negative connotations off of those words and expressing them as almost beauty and art and female. We have some wild dialogue in this film. Some of the wildest dialogue I've heard in a Jess Franco film, and it's hilarious. There's bitter, dark, wicked comedy in this film, and there's also horror, and there's a heavy dose of erotic and sexuality in this film. We have things being stuck in buttholes. We have conversations about anal sex where the girl wants to show her butthole to her girlfriend about how many times she's had anal sex. I'm not joking around here, folks. We have real tales on women. Yeah, you'll see what I'm saying here. We have naked police officers. I'm trying to make sure that I get everything here. A wild, artsy, weird, like Amsterdam sex nightclub. One of the wildest nightclubs I've seen in a Franco film, where the customers are having sex with the people performing right there in front of everybody. Themes of free love, having babies, marriage, married sex. It's all in here in a typical Jess Franco fashion, amped up. Maori Cookie and the Killer Tarantula, folks. 1998, one-shot production, and it even says at the beginning of the film, an outrageous Jess Franco film. That's all, folks. That's what it says at the end of the film. Jess Franco is referred to in this film. You know he's owning up in this film to being wild, insane. He knows he is. He's pushing it in your face. As a matter of fact, he's not pushing it in your face. He's doing exactly what he wants to do with cinema. He's doing exactly what he wants to do with music, with sexuality, with everything. Lena Romay is the lead in this film, and she is older. It's 1998, and she is showing everything. Everything. And folks, this is a pretty explicit film with things, like I said, going mostly into buttholes in this film, which is very bizarre. And we also getting vaginas in this film, and we're really seeing Franco's focus. I don't want to say bizarre, but it's bizarre for typical cinema. Franco's focus on the butt and the vagina butt. And Lena is owning up to her age in this film, and she doesn't even care, because Franco doesn't care, because nobody cares. This is Maori Cookie and the Killer Tarantula, folks. 1998. On this double set, it's also available, I believe, on other releases as well. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. There's tons more Jess Franco on this page, and also other films as well. Please feel free to check out my own personal films at youtube.com/poopy diarrhea. Thank you, and good night.